Hey, you're watching the Crush It Trade Recap Show for August 22nd, 2024. Absolutely crushed it today with $33,645. What an awesome day of trading. And let's jump right into it. But first, do me a favor and just click the subscribe button. If you're not subscribed, throw us a like. I'd absolutely love it. Thank you so much. And there it is, Meta, $33,645. And looking over here first at the daily chart, you can see that we have this ascending trend line right here, and we also have all-time highs. So I kind of had this on my alert list. Didn't quite know if price was going to get there today, but was definitely watching it. So moving over to the 6 tickers that we normally trade: Meta, Amazon, AMD, Microsoft, Tesla, NVIDIA. I didn't really think we were going to get a setup today, just for the simple fact that we had a lot of big candles at the open. And when you have big candles at the open, it's kind of tough for the Crush It trade strategy to set up. But I was a little bit patient, and I thought I'd give it a chance anyways. And Meta was the first one to jump through the Crush It zone. And so then I moved over to the trading page here, and this was at about 9:53. Most of my trades take place at about 10. So I thought, hey, we're close. Maybe we're going to have a trade. But look at these candles. Impulsive candles blew right through the Crush It zone. So there was absolutely no trade there for me. I like clean candles in the zone, and I'll show you in a few minutes what those look like. But there definitely was no trade here in the Crush It zone on Meta. So that kind of confirmed that we probably weren't going to get a trade today. But as I was watching this, I noticed on the 1 hour that we're going to start moving outside the Bollinger Bands. And then I recalled, hey, we got the all-time highs, and we have that ascending trend line. But then as I was looking at it, I also noticed that there is a Crush It zone, a 1 hour Crush It zone here. And so that really kind of got me excited. I got all eyes on Meta at this point. And so I was waiting for a setup and an entry. So I had the Crush It zone, I had the all-time high, and I had the ascending trend line, and I had price moving outside the Bollinger Bands. If you know anything about that, price wants to move back inside the Bollinger Bands. So I was really expecting a move to the downside on Meta. I just didn't know exactly where it was going to be. So when you look at the 1 minute here, I kind of started with 100 contracts. Maybe got a little overexcited, a little bit early, but I started with 100 contracts in here just in case it wanted to go early. And as you can see, we got 2 candles later on the 1 minute, and it jumps back up into the Crush It zone right here. And I took a swing. I took 500 contracts right here, and I'll tell you why. Here is what I call my modified MACD, my momentum oscillator. This was at 300%. Normally, anything over 50% is really good. So we were in the heavy sell zone on this MACD. And then if you look at the predictor that I have right here, this is also in the sell zone. So I kind of figured, okay, I'm going to go for it. And I bought those 500 contracts, and I did get a little nervous, and I sold a lot of them down here at the Crush It zone, because what will happen when you have a lot of strength in a stock like you do Meta, this acts as a springboard, the Crush It zone right here, for a continuation higher. We had all-time highs, so I was kind of maybe under the impression that maybe there was a chance that the price was going to move higher. And we didn't get that move, thank goodness. But I did sell half of that down here. Maybe regret it a little bit right now. But the rest of it got scaled out somewhere around, let's see if I can remember here, at the bottom of the Crush It zone, and then I took some more at the 0.618 Fibonacci level down here. I ended up stopping out right about here because I thought with 2 touches on the 0.618 level, there's a good chance that we're going to be moving higher again. And I was wrong on that. Look at this big move to the downside. It's better on the 1 hour right here. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4 red candles to the downside. That was a really good trade on Meta. Now, I think I could have obviously played that one a lot better. I probably could have walked away with $100,000 if I had managed my trade a little bit better. But like I said, I was a little bit excited. I was a little nervous because there was a lot of momentum. There was a lot of strength in Meta. And I just thought, geez, this stock probably wants to break all-time highs. But you know what? We got lucky, and I was happy to get out with $33,645. But let me show you on Meta where the Crush It trade strategy that we normally trade actually set up today. And it's set up later on in the day, about 11:40. Now, I would have never gotten in on this one just because I'm usually done trading by 11. But you can see right here, we're outside the Bollinger Bands. We're in the Crush It zone. Here's the Crush It zone on the 1. This is what I'm talking about as far as clean candles go. Look at how clean this comes in, and retest it down here, nice and clean. And not to mention, we have the modified MACD, I call it, the momentum oscillator, is at 248%. That is huge. That is a lot. So that is telling me right there that we're going to get a good move to the upside. And we moved up about $5.83 roughly. So what an awesome move that was on the Crush It trade strategy. Now I say that this strategy takes place every single day on one of these 6 tickers, and it took place today at Meta. Another thing about Meta too on that trade, let me just move over back to this page here, is, this was 10 o'clock. The best trades take place at about 10 o'clock. There was another one that took place, a Crush It trade strategy on AMD. And let me see if I can find that over here for you. That took place right here also at about 10 o'clock. So there's 2 types of Crush It trades strategies and or setups, I should say, for the strategy. The first one is most of them are pullbacks and reversals outside the Bollinger Bands. And the second one is a continuation for the center of the Bollinger Bands. So you can see right here on the 5-minute, we went through the Bollinger Bands right here. I'm sorry, we went through the Crush It zone right here. And let's look at that also on the 1 minute. You can see once again, it's not very clean. There's really nothing to go off of right here. There's no key indicators on the 1 minute that we would have gotten into this trade at all. Okay. And even on the 5, we were outside of the bands right here. We had a little bit of a pullback, but there's nothing clean on here. No clean entries. Okay. So this goes down and we get below right here, the Crush It zone. And we come back in and look at this nice clean touch for a continuation to the downside. Now, I talked about being in the middle of the Bollinger Bands. Look at the 5. It would have been nicer if this touched the 20. It doesn't always touch the 20-day, but that would have been another key indicator if it would have touched the 20-day and been at the 50% mark of this zone. But anyways, it wasn't perfect, but it still was a good trade. And guess what? It happened at about 11 o'clock. So it wasn't a 10 o'clock trade. It was 11 o'clock trade. So that was another good trade. And then if you want to look at another one that was a 1-hour Crush It zone, it was right here on AMD also. This was a 5.3 to 1 ratio. Very easy stop on this one here. When the Bollinger Bands are running sideways and you got this, poke through right here, that's also a key indicator that we're going to get a nice move down. And if you had gotten in on that trade here, you'd have really gotten a good trade. Everything was down today. But anyways, we're at Meta, $33,645. What an awesome day. If you want to watch how we do this every single day, tune in Monday through Friday from 9:30 to 11. It's the Crush It trade strategy. It works well. It works every single day. It's an awesome strategy. All right. We'll talk to you later. We'll see you tomorrow morning, bright and early.